Hello students, welcome back. So in this session we will be discussing the multiplication of two matrices. First of all, we will see how do we exactly multiply two matrices. Then we will be switching to scalar multiplication, and once we are done with that, we will be discussing the various properties of matrix multiplication. We will see whether the properties like associativity, commutativity and cancellation laws hold good in case of matrix multiplication or not. So let's begin. Okay, so now we have multiplication of matrices. See, as far as multiplication of matrices is concerned, it's, I would say, not that simple, but it's not that difficult also. It's just that you'll have to practice a good number of questions on it. So, what do we mean by multiplication of matrices, or how do we multiply the two matrices? If we have two matrices of this form, see A11, A12, A1n, A21, A22, A2n, and so on, AM1, AM2, AMN. See, the order of matrix is m cross n, and then I have another matrix B11, B12, B1p, B21, B22, B2p, Bn1, Bn2, Bnp. Order is n cross p. Then if I need to multiply two matrices, I get another matrix when I multiply as C11, C12, C1p, C21, C22, C2p, CM1, CM2, CMP. So first of all, what you need to note is the order of the matrices, right? Whenever you try to multiply two matrices, you need to check the orders, that the internal dimensions of both the matrices should be same. What do we mean by internal dimensions? This n should be the same as this, which means that the number of columns of first, which is also known as prefactor, see here, this is known as prefactor if you are trying to multiply the two matrices, and this will be called as post factor. So in order to multiply two matrices, the number of columns in the first, that is the prefactor, should be equal to the number of rows in the second, which is known as the post factor. So this n should be the same as this n, or the internal dimensions of the two matrices should be the same. And where Cij, that is the entries of the resultant matrix, would be Ai1 B1j plus Ai2 B2j, so on, Ain Bnj, right? So do not get confused by seeing this. Once you practice questions, you'll be able to understand it. You just need to note that the internal dimensions should be same, and secondly, the order of the resultant matrix would be m cross p. In order to understand, I would explain it like, see, the order of first matrix was m cross n, then we had n cross p. In order to understand, you can just cancel out these two and the resultant matrix becomes m cross p. This would be the order of the resultant matrix. Okay, so now how do we multiply, right? I am taking certain examples. See, now I have certain examples. Now if I need to multiply these two matrices, what I do is, first of all, I take the first row of the first one and the first column of the second matrix, and then I multiply the corresponding elements. First I multiply this with this, then I'll multiply this with this, and then I'll multiply this with this, and finally we add all three entries, right? And this will give us the element this at the first place, right? So okay, first of all, you'll write down the order, you'll check the order in fact. So 2 rows 3 columns and 3 rows 2 columns, so they are conformable for multiplication since the internal dimensions are same, and in fact the order of the resultant would be 2 cross 2. So what do we get? 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1 plus 4 into 5, which gives us 22. This is the element at the first row, first column, right? Now we multiply the second row with the first column in order to get this element, the element at the first element of the second row, right? So this gives us 3 into 0 plus 9 into 1 plus 9 into 5, which is 54. Similarly, now we'll multiply this second row with the second column, which will give us this element, right? So this gives us 3 into 1 plus 9 into 4 plus 9 into 8, and this gives us 111. So by now I suppose you would have understood how do we multiply the two matrices. You just need to multiply the corresponding elements, and by taking first row with the first column, then we'll take the first row with the second column, second row with the first column, and so on. Now what do we mean by scalar multiplication? The matrix obtained by multiplying every element of a matrix A by a scalar lambda is called the multiple of A by lambda and is denoted by lambda A. That is, if A equal to Aij is some matrix, then lambda A is simply lambda Aij. So as far as scalar multiplication is concerned, you just need to remember that when you multiply a matrix by a scalar, you multiply each and every element of the matrix by that particular scalar. For example, we have a matrix A of order 2 cross 3. Then if you want to compute 2A, then what you will do is you will multiply each and every element by 2. This gets multiplied by 2, then this gets multiplied by 2, then this gets multiplied by 2. Similarly, each and every element will get multiplied by 2, right? Okay, now we have one question. If A equal to this and B is equal to this, show that AB is not equal to BA. Now how do we compute AB? First of all, write down the order: 2 rows, 3 columns. Now 3 rows, 2 columns. So we can multiply the two matrices, and in fact the dimension of the resultant matrix would be 2 cross 2. So now I proceed to find out the multiplication of these two matrices. I write down A, then I need to multiply it with this matrix. What do we get? This would lead to 2 into 1 plus 3 into 2, 2 plus 3 2s are 6, plus 1 into 1 is 1. Then I get 1 into 1 plus 3 into 2 plus 2. Then again 2 into 2 plus 3 into 1 plus 1 into 3. 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1 plus 3 into 2. This gives me 9, 4, 7 plus 3 is 10. Then I again have 9. Then I have 11. So this is what I get when I multiply these two matrices. Again, now we proceed to find out BA. Now BA is equal to 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, and then 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2. So when we find out BA, we get 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, and 2 plus 3. Then I get 3 plus 6, then 6 plus 3 and 3 plus 9. Then I have 1 plus 4, 2 plus 2 and 1 plus 6. This is what I get. So this gives me 4, 9 and 5. Then I have 5, 9 and 4, 5, 12 and 7. This is what I get when I multiply these two matrices. So you can easily see AB is not equal to BA. This is what you were required to show, right? Now next question says, given that this equal to 0, find the value of x. So you just need to multiply these three matrices equated to 0, find the value of x. So what do? You can multiply this with this. In fact, the order is 1 row 3 columns and 3 row 3 columns, so they are conformable, and the resultant matrix would be 1 cross 3. So what do I get when I multiply this? 1. Then I have 3 plus 5x plus 3, and then I have 3 plus 5 plus 3, right? Sorry, then I have 2 plus x plus 2, right? When we multiply these two, I get this. Then I need to multiply this by this. So this is again 1 cross 3, and here we have 3 cross 1. We can further simplify this first. 1, this would be 1. Then I have 5x plus 6 then I have x plus 4 and I need to multiply it by this, right? So what do I get? 1 into 1 is 1, plus I have is 5x plus 6, plus I have is x square plus 4x. I'm sorry, we had to take this equal to 0. So this becomes equal to 0, right? So this gives us x square plus 9x plus 7 is equal to 0. So this is in fact a quadratic, so you can easily find out the value of x, which is minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So this is the final answer, right? So this is simply the value of x that we were required to compute. Okay, now we have certain properties of matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication may or may not be commutative. That is, AB may or may not be equal to BA. See, this is extremely important. You need to remember that in general, matrix multiplication is not commutative. Okay, so in general, matrix multiplication is not commutative. If AB is equal to BA, then matrices A and B are called commutative matrices. In case you get the matrix AB equal to the matrix BA, then they would be called as the commutative matrices. And if AB is equal to BA, this should be, if AB is not equal to BA, then the matrices A and B are called anti-commutative matrices. Multiplication of diagonal matrices is commutative. This is true always. Multiplication of diagonal matrices is always commutative. Next we have is matrix multiplication is associative, like we discussed in case of addition of matrices. In case of multiplication also associativity holds true. Next, matrix multiplication is distributive over matrix addition. What does that mean? If I have got three matrices A, B and C, then A into B plus C, if I multiply the matrix A to the sum of B plus C, that would be equal to the product of AB plus product of AC. Or we can have it the other way around. I add A and B and multiply it, the resultant, by C. That would be equal to the sum of product of AC and BC. Now next is cancellation laws not necessarily hold good in case of matrix multiplication. That means if we get AB equal to matrix AB, suppose we get the product of matrices A and B, AB equal to AC, that need not imply that matrix B is equal to C even if A is non-zero, right? So if AB is equal to 0, that is the null matrix, does not necessarily imply that either A or B is a null matrix. Suppose I have the matrix AB equal to 0, right? That need not imply that either A or B is null. You can have a situation where neither of them is null, and even then we get the product AB as a null matrix. Okay, now we have certain important points that we have in fact already discussed that you must remember, right? So the product of two matrices is found by multiplying the corresponding word is important, elements in each row by each column and then adding them together. So you just need to remember this sequence, that row then column. How do we proceed to multiply the two matrices? As we have discussed, you always take this row and you multiply it with this column first, right? So row of this multiplied by column of this and so on. The order makes a difference. Obviously AB is different from BA, as we have already discussed. The number of columns in first matrix must equal number of rows in second. The internal dimensions need to be same in order to multiply two matrices. Answer, again, the resultant matrix would be the external dimensions. As we have already discussed, as we have, if I have M cross N and N cross P, this is matrix A, this is matrix B, these are the orders. If I multiply AB, I found out the matrix AB, then the dimension of AB or the order of AB would be M cross P. That is the external dimensions, right? So this was also quite simple, but you'll have to practice a good number of questions on this because it might get a bit confusing if you don't practice a good number of questions, right? So I hope you must have understood by now the concept of multiplication of matrices and the various properties of matrix multiplication. In my next session, I'll be discussing the various special types of matrices. So do stay tuned.